Modern fifth-generation warfare has moved past cognitive influence. It has weaponized the somatic response, aiming to pre-program the way you physically navigate your environment. Pervasive biometric surveillance now blankets our environment. Cameras constantly track microexpressions, physical habits, and pupillary responses. This creates a digital net that captures exact physical reactions to targeted stimuli. This diagram illustrates the invisible architecture of that net, the biofeedback loop. Your wearable tech and smart sensors pull continuous physiological data, your heart rate, your cortisol spikes, and feed it directly into central algorithmic engines. Those engines immediately push tailored prompts right back to your devices to keep you engaged. This creates what is known as predictive kinematics because the system tracks your physical state in real time. It can map and dictate your next physical movement before you even form a conscious thought to act. This data consumption has a physical price. Your nervous system is now a terminal for an invisible algorithmic architect. The intended result of this constant tracking is a frictionless environment, a highly controlled mouse utopia. It is designed to domesticate the human animal, smoothing over every rough edge of daily life to ensure automated, unquestioning consumption. Over time, you form an algorithmic self. You outsource your internal reflection and physical intuition to smart devices. You stop listening to your own body and wait for an app to tell you when to sleep, when to eat, and how to feel. The warrior philosopher introduces an anomaly into the system: absolute physical stillness. While the domesticated masses rush blindly toward the next algorithmic prompt, the sovereign individual anchors themselves completely detached from the digital herd. This frictionless existence operates as a sophisticated prison. It gradually dissolves willpower and strips away biological independence. To maintain the cage, the algorithm relies on the precognitive. Platforms serve you content calculated to trigger a physical dopamine response a fraction of a second before your frontal lobe can logically process what you are seeing. This demands continuous high arousal compliance. By keeping your heart rate elevated and your attention fragmented, the system traps you in a state of perpetual reactive motion. You are always reacting, never deciding. It uses spatial computing and nudge tech to enforce a synthetic consensus. You are herded by invisible digital fences and physical barriers, adopting the same behaviors and the same outrage as everyone else in the loop. But this machine has a massive structural vulnerability. Predictive modeling algorithms require constant human action. They need predictable inputs to function. The algorithm's greatest weapon against you is your own unquestioning momentum. So how do you defeat an invisible enemy that maps your physical impulses minutes in advance? You initiate a somatic halt. You break the predictive algorithmic loop by introducing a null input. You stop moving entirely. By dropping into a deep martial stance, maintaining absolute physical stillness, you introduce chaos into the machine. You deny the algorithm the data set it needs to predict your next steps. By decelerating your physiology, you generate a resonant energy balloon, or R-ball. This intense coherence acts as a protective buffer, shielding your internal state and making your next action mathematically invisible to a system that requires predictive momentum. A physical refusal to be moved by the machine is the only countermove the predictive engine cannot account for. Long-term escape from this domestication depends on reintroducing physical friction and struggle into your daily routine. Thinkers like Ted Kaczynski call this the power process. Long before artificial intelligence, historical figures recognized that industrial civilization suppresses human potential by handling our survival needs so completely that we are left with only meaningless surrogate activities. To reclaim your autonomy, you have to sever the biodigital interface. That means stripping away the biometric wearables and the smart sensors that pipe your biological responses into a corporate database. Sovereignty is a daily physical practice. You move only when you choose to move, guided entirely by your own consciousness and true will. Withdraw your sanction from the algorithmic loop. Reclaim your bodily autonomy. This is a return to an ancient archetype. You carry the inner fire, the individual's divine spark, expressed through physical and mental discipline, outshines any technocratic machine. If you're ready to break your domestication, download the free fear transmutation manual linked below. It will give you the exact framework to disrupt these systems of control and master your own mind. You and you alone are the architect of your own nervous system.